This is Nobidan Radio. I'm Elena, your host, and today's theme is health. Okay, we're going to be slightly interactive. Let's start with some simple stretching. I'm doing this with you, so find yourself a comfortable position. It's best standing up, but you can do this sitting down. First, clasp hands together above the head and push your arms up to stretch towards the ceiling. Then we're going to slowly relax our arms down and bend our necks backward, forward, then tilt sideways, left and right. Here we go. Slowly, backward towards the ceiling, forward to see the floor, then left and right. How do you feel? For some of you, it might have been a long time since you last went to the gym or tried keeping fit. But I'm pretty sure that everyone who dropped in this radio is pretty concerned about their health. We pretty much hear about health and fitness on a day-to-day basis, and we sometimes use the development of technology and medicine to help us. But it's certainly not easy to stay fit. And I want to emphasize the word stay more than just fit, because it's very easy to lose motivation when our lives are so busy. But the danger is, we shouldn't take our health for granted. If we lose interest, our body will signal that we are unhealthy in some way or another. That signal could be difficulty getting out of bed, or running out of breath when climbing the stairs, or for some, even insomnia and depression. So health is such a big part of our lives that many people deliberately spend a lot of time trying to keep our mind and body in good condition. That's why we're going to talk about health today. So in today's podcast, I'm going to talk about how people think about health and what we can all do to stay healthy. Let's first hear a story sent in by username Maltesers. Hi guys, this is Maltesers from Elephant and Castle. Ever since moving out to London with my friends for uni, I found myself having grand meals every single day. Mostly enjoying the presence of people and sharing home-cooked meals, but also a way to exert the stress of not being able to eat out during these times. My roommate is also a great cook and keeps making me food that I just couldn't say no to. But, for the past month of living out, I gained a lot of weight. My heaviest I have ever been since, ever. So in shock, I decided to go on a diet. Not just to shed some weight, but to get toned and actually add some muscle to my lump of nothing. I was so determined, I tried to cut down on carbs, eat less, no snacking, and substituted one of my daily meals with a salad. It wasn't too difficult, and I even booked a tour at a close gym to see what they had to offer. I knew that going to the gym was going to hurt my bank account. However, I thought that would be a great motivation to get up and go. So as I was getting my heart into this, and so ready to send an email to pay for my gym membership, I got a notification letting me know that London is going into their second lockdown. Now you see, from the point I gradually let go of my routine and I'm eating Maltesers as I write this, can you recommend good ways to stay healthy during this lockdown? I feel like my bum is getting stuck to my chair and I'm getting too comfortable living vertically on my bed. Thank you so much for sharing your story, Maltesers. First of all, I like the fact that you found your own comfortable way to diet, like how you've not replaced all meals but one with a salad. But I know how people tend to stress over dieting, and it can easily lead to unhealthy eating habits. In terms of staying in shape, this is something I always knew but never really realized until recently. If you want to lose weight and add muscle at the same time, you need to first gradually increase your exercise level while slowly decreasing your daily food intake. This is something a lot of people don't really comprehend, but once I realized this, the motivation to eat healthy became a lot easier because now I know I don't have to start eating a salad and cut down calories from day one. So rather than stressing over how much belly fat I have or how much I weigh, I now focus more on adding muscle and balancing my meals to stay fit. Oh, and if you can't go to the gym, especially due to COVID, I recommend Tabata training at home. Basically, you alternate short periods. I do 20-second intervals of high-intensity exercises, such as burpees, squats, jumping lunges, Superman, etc., followed by 10 seconds of rest, and then you repeat it 8 times, for a total of 4 minutes. It doesn't take very long, but it really improves your athletic performance and acts as an excellent catalyst for fat burning. So I do this when I can't go to the gym or don't have time in the evening. You can easily follow YouTube videos or use an app. I use Keep Trainer and Nike Training. Or even make your own routines. Do it with some music for extra motivation. So for people like Maltesers, losing weight might be one of our motivations to take care of our health. What else are there? Some people told me they think of well-being, to get the energy to stand our lives. I admit that I take quite some time to get myself to exercise. I'm sure a lot of people will agree with me, but it's that getting ready to physically get myself to the gym part that feels so difficult and draining. But it's that moment when I finished my workout pretty much covered in sweat and going home to shower and feed myself good food that I start to feel really great. My body feels lighter. Well, unless you've overdone yourself and your muscles are aching. And when I say lighter, I don't necessarily mean I've lost weight. But it's a sensation of having used my muscles and the blood pumping through my body that gives me a lot of motivation to take care of my health. And it has definitely helped my insomnia. I sleep so well and I eat really well. All that from taking care of my body every day. It requires some love and effort. Let's hear how other people are taking care of their health. This is a story of Parsawoo. I hesitated where to send this story, but I finally decided to send this to you. Thanks. First of all, I studied abroad in London and came back to Korea after graduation. I'm unemployed and I don't really do anything, but I put my feet on various doors so I can try this and that in Korea. But I mean, people don't easily change. When I was a student, I used to say, screw it, I think that's good enough. I did everything in this manner, so I spent 4 months in Korea as a freelance, a business partner, a job seeker, a writer, and a project manager, saying, that's enough. As a student, I was satisfied with a second every time I received the results. Going to pause it for anyone who doesn't know what a second is. It's like a UK university GPA score band. Okay, I'll continue now. And I believe that I recently had enough to receive second in my life in Korea. But it was just like being expelled without warning. All the people who trusted me went away, all the job interviews at large companies failed, and my acquaintances left me behind. The only things I got in my hand were my diploma and an OPIC English test score that I'd taken roughly under a hangover. I realized how idle I was and how university had protected me from the real adult world. I went out and drank a lot with my friends, and I cried and felt depressed every day to the point I didn't even go out of bed. This is how I threw another month away. I'm so tired of saying I'm so depressed and tired. Thankfully, everyone is trying to help me. They've been really helpful that I managed to get out of bed. But everything feels like they've already collapsed and I don't know what to do first. I was nervous about everything, didn't feel like I did anything, didn't know what to do. But as I walked, my complex thoughts, you thought I'll say they've been organized, right? No, not at all. All sorts of miscellaneous thoughts came to mind. I think about this and that and it's making my head explode. So, recently I walked almost 3 hours a day, at most 7 hours a day. I walked from Sangwoo to Sangsu in Seoul. Sangsu is almost 17 kilometers away. I spent half of my day only walking, but I'm much less anxious than the days when I sit in front of my computer trying to do this and that again. At first, It's hard to walk for just 3 hours, so I have to rest on the bench. Later, I could easily walk for more than 3 hours. I didn't think this could be an exercise, but I did lose a lot of weight on my stomach. And the most important thing is that I don't get the feeling of regret. I was depressed, tired, and felt like I wanted to escape from reality right away, which weighed heavily on me. Because of the pressure, I stayed on YouTube and Instagram all day, drank alcohol, did some painting, and applied for a job I don't want. And they ended up with regrets like, what on earth did I do today? But when I walk like crazy and fall into a light sleep, I don't regret my day and think, oh, at least I became healthy today. This is why people become heltang. Heltang. Okay, I think that means gym rats in Korean. As I walked and walked like that, I suddenly thought I should do something else instead of walking. Even though I was out for a 5-hour walk, I stopped walking on a second hour and said, hey, this is not the time to walk. And I came home right away and I did something. The interesting thing is, when I tried to do something before walking, I was overwhelmed by the question, are you sure you have to do this now? But the idea of, don't walk now, you have to do something else, from walking didn't come as anxiety. I found out that the reason why my head was filled with all kinds of thoughts was not that I didn't have an answer to my situation, but because there were too many. I wasn't doing anything because I didn't think I could do it, but I was constantly calculating what would be the most efficient thing for me, and how I could get back on my feet. Honestly, everything I've done will help eventually, so if you want to get rid of anxiety and be sure about your behavior, I recommend you to go out and walk instead of crying in bed. And if you're so depressed and you think there's no one around you, tell anyone you're having a hard time. I'm sure there's someone who can help you. It's much easier to pretend to be depressed than to be happy. It's also easier to build strength and self-esteem while walking, rather than pushing for actions that you're unsure of. Walking may not be the answer to everything, but just give it a try. Not just one round, but keep walking until you get hungry. And if it's not easy to organize your thoughts, at least your health gets better. Thanks, Parsawoo, for your story. There's a lot in there, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to you. I know how difficult the employment market is, especially at these times. And it sounds easier said than done, but let's try not to stress too much over achieving something right away. Make opportunities and take them when you get the chance. And like you said, walking is a great suggestion to keep both your mind and body healthy. There is that advantage to be able to refresh your mind while walking and jogging. Plus, you get to lose that extra belly. I like to walk early in the morning to start the day, or at sunset. Strangely, seeing the sun set and rise gives me this powerful energy, confidence. It kind of reminds me of the scene in a Korean drama called Itaewon Class that I had watched earlier this year in quarantine. Running while seeing the sunrise makes me feel like I can do anything or start anything. Do with some powerful music as well. Like Parsawoo said, it might not solve our problems, but it can heal us. Another person who loves to walk here sent me a piece of music. An artist named Choyeon played a classical guitar version of a traditional Catalan Christmas song called El Noir de la Mer. Sorry about my pronunciation, but it's the Child of a Mother, which is arranged by a Spanish guitarist, Miguel Yobe. The artist commented that she often unfolds her imagination while exercising or stress relieving. She told us that as soon as I listen to and play the song, I can imagine a Christmas street in Europe. This makes me overcome any frustrating moments. Right, let's check this together. That's really beautiful. Thank you, Choyeon, for sending us that song. Now, I think the stories so far make us ask, what is health? The word health covers various areas, our body, mind, senses, and so on. Of course, the implications and feelings may vary from time to time, from place to place. But the definition of the word health has evolved over time to, quote, a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So it means health is not just physical, but also spiritual, mental, and emotional. And each condition does not exist separately. They are all connected and interacting with each other, just like Parsawoo's story. So as health affects various areas of our lives, the motives and reasons for maintaining health are likely to vary. Let's hear our last story, shared by the name Nacho. I hear the phrase, health is the most valuable thing very, very often. Maybe too often, especially from adults. But there's a lot in our health. Why only focus on physical fitness when we should also focus on spiritual and mental health? I tend to easily lose stamina and stress eat after a day of work. Sometimes I have to do things I don't want to do. Sometimes I have to work for longer hours. Sometimes I only sleep for 5 hours a day. I found my body and mind falling apart. I had insomnia and my stress level was exploding. So it's important that I have time to recover during the weekends. Our daily lives have changed a lot because of COVID, but I found that the best thing I can do when I'm at home is finding my own space of mind and spending time on myself. I try to invest at least 30 minutes or an hour a day for my health. I wake up a little early in the morning, start the day early, and do one form of exercise. Once I do, I feel a little more energetic. These days, I think I can pay more attention to my health, as I spend a lot of time at home after the pandemic. I eat healthier at home and sleep more. I hope everyone is staying safe and healthy. Thanks, Nacho. I also hope everyone is staying safe and healthy. I agree with you a lot, but it's hard to stay healthy without effort. Our daily lives are really busy and we go through a lot of things, so I think we need to know how to take care of ourselves. But one thing for sure is, investing in your health gives you a high return. So if you spend just a few minutes of your day investing in your health, you'll be able to spend other times more valuably. Now, what else can you do to stay healthy besides exercising? That was one of the questions. I think first is having a proper diet. As in changing and eating habits. So eating good food is good for our bodies and souls. Usually there is that perception that healthy food or healthy taste is plain. But these days, there are so many delicious and nutritional options. And we can also choose things like sweet fruits over chocolates, try to avoid junk foods. Find a balanced meal that fits our bodies. Also, I think listening to music is one for me. So selecting appropriate music is always helpful for both physical, mental, and emotional health. Yerin, the writer of this show, says that she usually listens to calm acoustic music whenever she walks. On the other hand, when she does a little active exercise or when she's in a good mood, she chooses music on musical theatre or at famous scores in sports movies like Rocky and pretends like she's the main character of the piece. For me, I like listening to R&B and soul when I go for walks. Sometimes pop can really boost my positivity and confidence. So for physical health, I use music as a big motivation when I work out. I have a separate workout list, which is only full of pop and old K-pop. So on my phone, I see all these second generation K-pop songs, because I'm a 90s baby. But for me, a workout song just needs to be upbeat, groovy, and I need to know all the lyrics. Lastly, I want to encourage people to find a happy hobby. So what is that, you may ask? Well, the purpose of finding a happy hobby is investing time in something that makes you feel healthy and positive, that compensates for some of the stress you're having throughout the week. This could be spending time with your family or adorable pets, or having a peaceful tea time for an hour. But a happy hobby that can improve both your mental and physical health is something that requires you to move your body and mind. For example, listening to music while walking and sightseeing could be one. Painting is another one because you use your hands, or morning cycling with a friend. Again, our writer Yerin says she deliberately goes to a cinema more than an hour away to watch her favorite movie. She says usually she gets annoyed when she leaves home, but she said this makes her move her body while she finds entertainment, which makes her feel better. So I think it's very important to find a way that suits you more than anything. I want to hear about your healthy lifestyle. Sadly, this is the end of our talk today. Thank you all for joining us and listening until the end. I think all the stories and songs you sent me made this radio very rich. I learned a lot from you, and I admit health didn't seem like the most interesting topic to talk about at first. But like how we shouldn't take health for granted, I hope this was a valuable time for you. So, do something this week for your health. And don't forget to look around other topics on the Nobunan website. There's a lot. So now I'll wrap up by slowly twisting my neck and waist. I've been sitting here for a while. Anyway, this was DJ Elena. It's been my honor to be your host today on Nobunan Radio. Take care.